Champions League knockout phase starts now. See, now this is where we are going to separate the men from the chaff. We are going to separate the serious team from the pretenders. We are going to separate the team with heritage, the team with ambition, the team with direction, aspiration, and hopes to win this season. We are going to find out. It's time to separate the men from the chaff. Join me. Let's break down the Champions League knockout phase as we start and it kick off now. Let's go. Join me. Welcome to Football Madness. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share this. Now let's go have some fun. Let's go. Back again to another week of Champions League review and preview show. We are starting out with the knockout phase for this year competition. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be transcending. You want to be tuned in. You want to be dialed in. You do not want to miss any action, any moment of this program. We're going to be trying this new. This is our first time covering the Champions League. So guys, please, I need your support. I need your love. Share the video, like the video, drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know, what do you think? What is your own take? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Please, please, please. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like. Remember to share the video. Please, please, please. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. We are kicking off this year Champions League and we are starting this for the first time. Football Madness covering the Champions League. We are going to be adding it to our regular Premier League review and preview show. We are going to be running it side by side and we are going to see how you guys like it. But hey, tune in, share the love, share the page. Let's continue to grow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Remember, it's not personal, it's just football. So let's quickly dive in. First game we have this week coming up, we have Galatasaray taking off Juventus. This is going to be an interesting matchup. First of all, both teams right now have their own right and their own claim to go through to the round of 16. Both teams, we saw them in the group stage. They played well. They put on their effort. I think Juventus have a slight favorite. This game can easily go anywhere, but I think Juventus will have a slight edge over Galatasaray because this season so far, Galatasaray have not been consistent and they've not shown me what I need to see from them. They signed Osimhen. That's the reason why they paid the big bucks for Osimhen. So this is where he has to step up and show what he has in his repertoire. So we have to see it now. This is the time to step up and this is the time to deliver. We have to see what Osimhen has to offer. There will be no hiding place. This season so far in the Champions League, we've seen Osimhen score 6 goals for Galatasaray. They are leading scorer. At the same time, for Juventus have been sharing their goals. They've not scored a lot of goals in the competition, but yet they are still a dangerous side. The likes of Udis has stepped up. You have Vlahovic pretty much scored 3 goals in the Champions League, and you have a surprisingly McKennie, the USA midfielder, has stepped up for Juventus and he has scored 3 goals for them. So you can see how they are sharing the workload. This Juventus side is a dangerous side. You do not know what to expect from them. So it's really going to be an interesting matchup. We just pray that the officiating does not come and interfere in the game. I want to see a clean game. I want to see a smooth game. And I think this game is going to be a perfect game for the viewers, a neutral fan. If you're looking for a game to watch this week, this is a game you want to be tuned into. This is a game you do not want to miss. I promise you guys, it is going to be an entertaining week. I cannot wait. So many interesting games. But one thing we have to highlight in this matchup is that you see this Galatasaray side, in their home, they are an interesting side. Once they are playing at home, they have that crowd behind them. They can perform miracles. I am telling you, that stadium can make you lose your mind if you are a visiting team. So Juventus need to be careful. Juventus need to be prepared. This game is going to be an interesting one. I know Galatasaray have not been a consistent side. They've not shown what they can do, but I think there's a lot of players on that team. The likes of Sane, the likes of Icardi, the likes of Gundogan. There's a lot of key players, the differential players that can make a difference. This is Champions League football, guys. See, there will be no defending, there will be no parking the balls. This is end-to-end football. Let the best side win. I cannot wait. This game is really going to be an interesting one. Also for Juventus, the likes of Jonathan Davis, we've seen him this season join the team. We've seen him try to give them 2 goals in the Champions League. I think it's going to be an interesting one. There's a lot of key matchup that I cannot wait to see how this game play out. I think Juventus only top Galatasaray by 3 points in the group phase play, so it's really, they are close. This game can go anywhere, but I think Juventus have the slight edge when they are done with the both leg. I think Juventus is going to have the slight favorite edge over Galatasaray, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think Galatasaray is going to give everything. I cannot wait. Osimhen, this is the game. This is the game. This is what legends are made of. This is how you write your name in history. This game, I am watching this game solely to see what Osimhen will do. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. If you're a neutral fan, you are going to enjoy watching this game. The matchup wise is going to be an interesting one. The stadium effect, playing at Galatasaray for the first leg, it is going to be interesting. It's going to make a difference. But you guys tune in, lock in. This game is going to be an interesting one. For the next game we'll have on our list, we'll have the game between Monaco and PSG. You see, last year when PSG went on to win the Champions League, they were in the same predicament right now that the same thing they were last year. I think they played Brest and then they defeated Brest 10-0 in aggregate. Yes, both home and away, they defeated Brest 10-0. Now they are also going to be playing Monaco, which is another French league side. It is really going to be an interesting one. I think PSG is the favorite in this matchup against Monaco, but I don't think it's going to be an easy battle. Monaco is going to show up with that energy, the speed. They're going to play on the counter. They're going to play in transition. But I think PSG should have what it takes to win this game. But it is not going to be an easy one. We saw them in the league game that they played this season. Monaco won that game 1-0. But this is the Champions League. It's going to be totally different. This is not going to be the French league matchup. They're going to play this game as a Champions League game. And I'm telling you, PSG is going to be dangerous. Especially when they can get back Fabian Ruiz. When they can get him back from injury and get him fit back into the team, PSG is really going to be a dangerous side. They are still the defending champion, so you have to respect them. I'm telling you, they are. Don't be surprised if you see PSG do the same thing they did last year. But it's really going to be an it's really going to be an interesting one to see how PSG put everything together. The biggest problem for Monaco in this matchup is their injury factor. Monaco right now is loaded with injury. There is too many, like, this is one of the most injured side in Europe in total. I'm telling you, Monaco team right now is loaded with injury. We are not going to see Pogba, we are not going to see Fati, we are not going to see Minamino, we are not going to see Eric Dier. A lot of players in this Monaco squad is injured. So that is another factor that is going to play, that is going to make a difference in this matchup. But it's going to be an interesting one to see how this make up. This is a French league matchup, so I cannot wait. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very, very good game to watch. If you're a neutral fan, you are going to enjoy watching this game. If you're a PSG fan, you are also going to enjoy watching this game, because I think this game is going to be the revenge of the 1-0 loss they lost in the league. PSG is going to win this game. They have everything it takes. They've won 4 in the groups stage. They drew 2 and they lost 2. So we're going to see. It's going to be a good one. Monaco managed to win 2 games in the group stage play. They were down there. They did not really show themselves that much in the group stage. So there's not that much to write up about Monaco. I just think this is the end of the journey for Monaco. PSG is going to be the best team out of this 2-leg matchup, and they are going to progress to the next round. For the next game we have on our list, to have the game between Borussia Dortmund and Atalanta. See, both sides, they showed up in the league phase. They gave everything they've got. It was interesting to see how they played their football. They pretty much went under the radar. Borussia Dortmund, no one was paying attention to them. At the same time with Atalanta was just pretty much a middle belt team. Pretty much that's what I'm going to address them at. They were just there. They won 4 games, they lost 3 and they drew 1. So they did not really make a dent or something that I would remind. They did not leave any memory or anything to hold on to. But I think this game can go anywhere. It's going to be really interesting to see how it match up. I think Borussia Dortmund should be slight favorite over Atalanta, but nonetheless, it's Champions League. You never can tell. The tide can turn at any time. But it's really going to be interesting to see how both sides match up, the tactics, the details. We are going to see. The last time they met, Dortmund won. So Dortmund hold that over Atalanta. It's going to be an interesting one to see how it play out. We saw last season for Borussia Dortmund, we saw Guirassy was a top scorer for them, scoring a lot of goals. He has not really kicked on this season like he did last season, but it's going to be an interesting one to see if it is going to be during this knockout phase, he's going to start scoring those goals, because last year in the Champions League, he was scoring a lot of goals for fun. I think he was one of the top highest goal scorers in the Champions League last season. So it's really going to be an interesting one to see if he can step up in this game. Also, Camara for Atalanta, he's been scoring goals for fun for Atalanta, so we are really going to see those matchup play out. But the biggest problem in this game is Borussia Dortmund is suffering from injury, especially in their center back area, in their defensive line. They are suffering from a lot of injury, so that is really going to be a differential in this game. How is the coach going to make that tweak? Who is he going to play? Who is going to leave out? we're really going to see how we play out, but I think it's really going to be an interesting one. Both sides are pretty much match up even. This game can easily go anywhere. But I think for the first leg, Borussia Dortmund is going to win since they are going to play at home. The fans is going to be behind them. I think they are going to win the first leg. And I think in the second leg, Borussia Dortmund is still going to find a way to go through. I give them the slight edge over Atalanta. It's going to be an interesting one. You never can say never. The game can go anywhere. But I think if you're a neutral fan, you should grab your popcorn, grab your drink, and tune in. This week, we have a lot of games that are going to be entertaining. A lot of goals are going to be scored because everything is on the line in the Champions League. Everything is on the line. We are going to be separating the men from the chaff. For the next game we'll have on our list, we'll have the game between Benfica and Real Madrid. You see, come close. Come close. Benfica versus Real Madrid. Both sides already went head-to-head this season. They played the last, I think that was match week 8, a couple of days ago. Benfica won that game 4-2, but it was the way Benfica won that game. Benfica could have easily scored 7 goals in that game. They created a lot of chances, they missed a lot of chances, and yet they still won that game. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is that Benfica was at the edge of going out of the Champions League. A goal from Trubin, their goalkeeper, is exactly what gave them another lifeline. And now, Jose Mourinho, the former coach of Real Madrid, currently coaching Benfica, is going to be looking to get his revenge on Real Madrid. I'm telling you, this game, oh my Lord, this game has a lot at play. There is a lot at play, a lot at stake. The game that was played in match week 8, Benfica defeated Madrid 4-2, like I said. You see that game is not going to have anything to do with this game. I'm telling you, because this game is going to be a totally different game. For that game, I can see why Benfica is going to be playing ultra attack. Benfica is going to be bombing forward, trying to give everything, because at that point, they have nothing to lose. They were just throwing everything to see what they can get. But right now, Benfica is going to have something to lose. They don't want to go out. Real Madrid have their heritage, their pride, their prestige on the line. They don't want to go out in the round of 32, in the knockout playoff phase to Benfica, especially to Jose Mourinho. Oh no, the level of banter, the level of dragging. No. There's so much at stake, so much on the line. So I think this is going to be an interesting one. If you're a neutral fan, you want to watch this game. I cannot wait. This game is going to be so delicious, so fantastic. This game is going to deliver. I think there's going to be goals everywhere. But I don't think Benfica is going to find it as easy as they did the last time they meet. I'm telling you, the Real Madrid we are going to see in this game, they're going to have a point to prove. We are not going to see Asensio, and we are also not going to see Rodrigo. Those are the 2 players that got red card in that game. I was telling you, that game was crazy. But now they are going to be suspended. They are going to be missing this game. So this game is really going to be an interesting one. To see how this matchup play out, you need to tune in. To see how this matchup play out, you need to be dialed in. Real Madrid lost 3 games in the group phase, in the league phase. They lost 3 games. They lost to Liverpool, they lost to Man City, and then they lost to Benfica. So, and right now they are playing Benfica again, literally back to back. I cannot wait, guys. I'm telling you, if there is anything you are doing, please do not miss this game. I do not want to have to tell you what happened in this game. I want you to see it with your eyes. So right now, set your reminder. While you are setting your reminder, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Guys, come on, let's stay dialed in, let's stay locked in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know, who are you picking? Who is winning, who is losing, who is going home? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Lock in, hit that subscribe button, let's go. For the next game we have on our list, we have a game between Qarabağ and Newcastle. This is really going to be an interesting one in the aspect that Newcastle have not been consistent this season, but for some reason, they found a way to pick up maximum points in the Champions League. They are playing better in the Champions League than they are currently playing in the Premier League. So Newcastle is going to be an interesting one. But the good thing for Newcastle is that they are playing Qarabağ. This is not a team that is going to pose enough threats to them. We saw Qarabağ beat Benfica, Copenhagen, Frankfurt, and at the same time, they drew with Chelsea. So they have something there, but I don't think it's good enough, or I don't think it's enough to defeat Newcastle in a 2-leg tie. I think Newcastle is going to be the slight favorite coming out of this edge. I think Newcastle is going to win this game. Both legs, I think Newcastle win home and away. It's really going to be, but it's going to be good. In order to do that, Newcastle have to show up and show out. Not the Newcastle we've seen in the Premier League, because the Newcastle we've been seen in the Premier League, they've not been consistent. They've dropped points when they don't need to drop points. They've been terrible at some point, but I think in the Champions League, they found ways to pick up points. They found ways to win games, and that is what is going to help them get through to the next round. For Qarabağ, we have to give them their congratulations and kudos to them. The first team from Azerbaijan to make it to the knockout phase in the Champions League. So kudos to them, congratulations to them. But I think this is where the run ends. Thank you for your service. You've done well, but this is where it ends. I think their journey ends here. Newcastle is going to be the slight favorite going through to the next round. But it's not like the game still have to be played. Obviously, it's going to be an interesting one. We've seen what they've been doing with Andrade and also Duran. The combination of those two players, they've been picking up a lot of goals from them. This is a team that scores a lot of goals from midfield. That's one thing Newcastle need to be wary of. This Qarabağ side, they score a lot of goals from midfield. Newcastle need to be wary. Newcastle need to be make sure that they're paying attention to those late runs from those midfielders, because those midfielders are deadly and they can capitalize on their opportunity. But apart from that, I think Newcastle have everything it takes. The likes of Anthony Gordon and Harvey Bond, the combination of them in the Champions League, they've been scoring goals for fun. I think the threat that Newcastle pose in this game is going to be too much. Newcastle only lost 2 games in the league phase, which is to Marseille, and then they lost to Barca. The first game they lost to Barca was a 2-1. That was a close game. It could have easily been a draw, but nonetheless, they lost to Barca. But I think they have everything it takes to defeat Qarabağ. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Newcastle have my slight favorite edge going through to the next round. For the next game we have on our list, we have the game between Olympiacos and Leverkusen. This is another game that can easily go both ways. This game can easily go both ways. Both teams won 3 games in the league phase. They are not that far away from each other. The difference is 1 loss and 1 draw, a point gap between both sides. So this style, it can easily go both ways. It can go to Olympiacos and it can easily go to Leverkusen. Leverkusen this season, they started the season a little bit shaky, dropping points here and there, but lately they've been picking up form, they've been picking up points in the league, and we've seen what they've done in the German Bundesliga. In the last 4 games they've played, they've been picking up points. So I think that momentum is what they are going to need going forward into this knockout phase. If they can channel that momentum from their league into this phase, it's going to help them. But Olympiacos on the other side, it's not going to be an easy side. The fact that Olympiacos is here in this knockout phase is already a miracle. This team literally have to win their last 3 games to qualify for the knockout phase. Like, you don't understand. They have to win their last 3 Champions League games to get to this phase. And it was not easy, but yes, they did what they have to do. So that momentum is what is carrying them now to the next round. It's really going to be an interesting one to see how this matchup play out. I cannot wait. Both sides, they don't score enough goals, so it will be interesting to see who is going to overpower who. Is the defensive part of the game going to be more dominant, or both sides is going to score more goals? But we're going to see. I think this game is going to be an interesting matchup. It can easily go both ways, but I think Olympiacos is going to find a way to edge it. I think, especially playing in their home in the first leg, I think Olympiacos win the first leg in their home, Leverkusen win the second leg in their home, and probably we'll see maybe penalty or aggregate. Who knows? We'll see. But I think it's going to be really a close one. Both sides have their claim. Both sides have the edge. It's a 50-50 battle. It can easily go both ways. And for the next game we have on our list, we'll have the game between Bodø Glimt and Inter. This is another miraculous side. Bodø Glimt in this Champions League, the fact that they make it to this knockout phase, this is another miraculous side. They are literally playing with 9 lives. They are like a cat with 9 lives at this point. They had to go through Man City. No, they're actually from Borussia Dortmund. They drew the game to Borussia Dortmund. Then they defeated Man City. Then they defeat Atlético Madrid. That is the journey they had to go through in their last 3 games to get themselves to this knockout phase. Defeating Manchester City by 3-1 and going to Atlético to beat Atlético 2-1. After that, it's a different level of confidence. And that is the confidence they are going to need when they are taking on Inter. Inter this season are enjoying themselves. Playing in the Serie A, they are currently seated at the top of the table, dominating the league. In the Champions League, they've won 5 games and they've lost 3. But the teams that they lost to, those are some heavy hitters. They lost to Atlético Madrid, they lost to Liverpool, and they lost to Arsenal. So I can see that. So for this tie, Inter Milan is going to be the favorite going through. They are going to have the edge over Bodø Glimt, but I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. You cannot write Bodø Glimt. For what we saw against Man City and what we saw against Atlético Madrid, you cannot write this side out. They are playing with house money at this point. They have nothing to lose. They have no. If they go home, they could care less. And if they go through, they will be happy and they continue their Cinderella story. At this point, I feel like they've done enough. Kudos to them. Credit to them. Congratulations to them. But I think their journey end here. If you were to ask me, I think this is where their journey end. I think Inter Milan is going to edge it. They have too many firepower for this Bodø Glimt side. Too many firepower is loaded. This Inter Milan side is loaded. They have a lot of players that can cause damage to this Bodø Glimt side. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. The combination of Kasper Hughes and Peter Hughes in the Bodø Glimt side They've been playing themselves into the games. They've scored both 4 goals in this Champions League phase. So going forward into the knockout phase, if those 2 players can be allowed to roam, allowed free space, and they find themselves in key position to hurt Inter Milan need to be wary of that. Those 2 players are dangerous for the Bodø Glimt side. But nonetheless, I think Inter Milan should have everything it takes. The likes of Thuram, the likes of Lautaro Martinez, that attacking firepower, the combination of both of them, how they intertwine, how they interchange position, how they play off each other. It is spectacular to watch. It's unbelievable. And it has kept Inter Milan exactly where they are this season, at the top of Serie A, and currently 5 wins and 3 losses in the league phase of the Champions League. Not an easy side to play. Inter Milan don't concede goals that much. They don't concede a lot of goals, and they don't lose a lot of games. Inter Milan is going to be a difficult side to defeat. If Bodø Glimt are to go through Inter Milan, it is going to be a very, very, very difficult one. So it's going to be a good matchup nonetheless. I think if you're a neutral fan, you are going to enjoy this game. If you're an Inter Milan fan, you are also going to enjoy this game. Bodø Glimt, can you guys continue your Cinderella story? What do you guys have to offer us? I cannot wait to see how this game plays out. It's going to be an interesting watch. For the next game we have on our list, and the final game in this knockout phase, we have Club Brugge and Atlético Madrid. This is the battle of Nigerian Jollof. Yes, this is the battle of Nigerian Jollof. Onyedika versus Lookman. I cannot wait to see my Niger brothers. I cannot wait to see how they are going to match up in this game. It's sad to see that both of them is playing each other, because I wish they had played a different team so I can be cheering for both of them to go through to the next round. The sad part is that the fact that they are matched up in the knockout phase means one of them have to go home. Sorry, but hey, kudos to them for making it this far. Congratulations to them for making it this far. I think this matchup is going to make sense. Club Brugge, this side is really an interesting one. The way they play their football, free-flowing, attacking football, I enjoy watching Club Brugge. But also, their strength is their weakness. While they are bombing forward, trying to get as much goals, they still concede cheap goals and they make unnecessary mistakes. So that vulnerability is going to be there for Atlético Madrid to capitalize on it. And we already know that the addition of Lookman to this Atlético attack is going to be something special. The likes of Lookman, the likes of Griezmann, the likes of Alvarez, we are going to see unbelievable attack if they could let loose, if they don't go there and play defensive and they actually attack. Club Brugge, I think, is going to make up for a good matchup. It's going to make up for an entertaining football. I cannot wait to see how this game play out. This game, tactical wise, is going to be spectacular to watch. But Club Brugge, they want to attack. They want to be on the front foot. Atlético Madrid, they can play both ways. They can play in transition, they can play defensive, and they can go on an attack. So we don't know which Atlético Madrid is going to show up. They've not been consistent so far this season. We can see their position in their league phase in the Spanish La Liga. They are up and down. They've been moving crazy lately. They're dropping a lot of points lately. But in the Champions League does not care your current form. Champions League does not care what you've done. Champions League, it is here and now. What can you do here and now? And that's where a team like Atlético Madrid is dangerous. Because on a good day, this team can take on any team in Europe. They can be extraordinary on a good day. So you don't know. And the fact that you don't know, that is what keeps you on the edge. That is why you tune in to see how this game is going to play out. Man, this week, guys, you do not want to miss this game. You want to be dialed in. You want to be tuned in. Man, this game is going to be extraordinary. I cannot wait. We just need to hope and pray that we don't end up with bad officiating deciding this game. At some point, we need to start having a conversation about the officiating in Europe. This season so far, the officiating in Europe has been terrible. Terrible. In the Premier League, the FA Cup they played this past weekend, we saw the dodgy, shady decisions, the inconsistent decision. Rio goals was cancelled for an offside. That was not an offside. That was just poor error from the linesman. We saw Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Handball was done inside the 18 box and was given as a free kick outside the 18 box. Like, how? At this point, it feels like the ref are getting worse and worse and worse as time goes by. Or at some point, we need to start having conversation. Are the ref working with the betting company? We need to start having this conversation, because there are some things you are going to see with your two eyes and you are going to be questioning your own eyesight. Like it's crazy. Like, are we seeing the same thing? Like, did you see what I just saw? Like, it's not adding up. We saw in the Serie A, Kululu got a red card for literally 2 offense. They gave him 2 yellow cards. That was not even a foul, if you're asking me. The 2 foul they gave him a yellow card for, it's not even a foul. We saw Gift Orban for Verona getting a straight red for absolutely nothing. At some point, we need to start having this conversation. The officiating in Europe is terrible. This season is terrible. They're getting worse and worse and worse as time goes by. With the arrival of VAR, which is the video assistant referee, we thought it's going to help the officiating improve. The ref are still terrible with VAR. Some will say it's incompetent. Some will say, oh, it's because they cannot go to VAR every time. They still have to make. But for me, it's just at this point, it's just terrible officiating. And we need to start having this conversation, because I'm beginning to think that at some point, these refs are in the same bed with the betting company. Because if you see what happened to Victor Orban, you go and watch that replay and see what he got a red card for. And then you ask yourself, which betting company is that ref working with? It's either that, or someone has an explanation to do to, because that is crazy. We need to start having conversation, and we need to start holding all these refs accountable. You cannot show up week in, week out and be the reason why a team lose games, especially those close games. Juventus versus Inter Milan this past weekend, game on the line, both teams fighting for every single point. And what is the differential? The ref giving a red card to Kalulu. That is crazy. You cannot be the reason why a team lose game. We cannot come out of a game. That game was so interesting. It was end to end, but we did not get to see the best of that game because the ref decided to be the star of the show. Man, it's the same thing in the Premier League. The Premier League is not excluded. In the Spanish La Liga, it is the same thing. This officiating, these referees are not good enough. They are incompetent, or someone needs to tell me, are they in bed with the betting company? Because some calls are not adding up. Guys, we need to start having this conversation. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share the video. Let's continue to grow this platform, give Football Madness platform. Let's keep going, and I'll catch you guys next time. It is not personal, it's just football. Guys, yeah.